My name is Val, and I post about subcultures a lot. I post about fashion a lot. I post a lot, and I always hear the same thing no matter where I'm at and no matter what I post. People want to dress cool, they want to dress alternative, they want to do a bunch of things, but they can't afford to do it. And if you've ever seen any of my videos ever, I feel like I harp really hard on how popular DIY culture is in every single alternative scene. But regardless of that, everyone is still like, oh, I can't afford to do that. It's too expensive. I don't know where to shop. I don't know what to do. You make it. I am going to show you some DIYs that are very, very cheap or free if you're like me and you have a million things at all times. And then I'll show you some other things that I recommend buying or getting if you want to keep doing DIYs, because I recommend them and I love them and I use it all the time. So in this video, I'm going to show you some really simple DIYs. I'm going to show you two that I've been really wanting to try. Both of these things I was able to do for free. The first thing that I will forever harp on is fabric paint or acrylic paint. I absolutely love this. I feel like it's pretty beginner friendly. If you want to start doing DIY seriously, I recommend getting a pair of fabric scissors if you think that you will be doing anything with fabric at all, because regular paper scissors will not cut it. Don't use your fabric scissors on wired ribbon. Don't use it on very tough sequence fabric, and definitely don't use it on paper. Another thing I recommend, and I will never not recommend it, is super glue instead of hot glue. Hot glue is a time and place. I use hot glue all the time. I do. I love hot glue. In my experience, hot glue has not been something that can handle a lot of wear and tear the way that super glue can. And if you don't want to invest in a sewing machine or spend all that time hand sewing, super glue is where you want to go. I hate that they don't come in big bottles. Like, I want this size of a bottle. Also, you need Mod Podge. I just have the regular matte one. I bought it last month when I was making some bookmarks, and I fell in love. Like, I like it. I've been using it for everything. Obviously, a little measuring tape. I also have like a million of these little Halloween headbands that I've had since I was like 10. Another thing I will be using is studs and spikes. I'm personally taking it off of something I already own. I have like this hat, but you can buy these online. You can go to craft stores, you can do that. It doesn't have to be studs or spikes. It can be whatever you want to put on, like little buttons or beads. For the second project, I will be using scrap fabric, specifically muslin, felt. I will also be using paper, scissors, and an X-Acto knife. Okay, so I think that's everything you need and everything I recommend. I think that both of these are very simple, but maybe the headband was like the simpler one. Obviously, I started with a very cheap like Halloween headband that I've had for years, and I just tore the fabric right off of it. It was covered in a lot of glue, but I was still very lucky that it was black. If it wasn't, I was just going to paint it with acrylic paint. I'm taking the studs and spikes off of something I already owned, and so they're already on a strip of fabric. If they weren't, I would super glue the spikes individually onto the headband. Because I didn't have to do that, I measured out the fabric strip and I would place it onto the headband, super gluing it as I went and clamping it down so it would dry in the right place. I think that me clipping it down was a little bit dramatic, but it just made it a lot easier for me. I used some sewing clips. It was like super simple. Oh my god. I'm gonna be in this every day. This is fucking adorable. It's kind of janky when you look at it up close, but I don't care. I've been wanting to put patches on this for a very long time. I thrifted it a while ago. I wear it all the time, but slowly it is faded from being my most used bag to one I don't really use. I've seen like a billion different ways that people are making patches, and one of the projects I've been wanting to start is covering this in patches based on audio dramas that I've finished. I've seen so many people make patches like this, and I wanted to test it out before diving into my next project. I printed out 2 basic images, and I also traced one onto paper off of like a screen. I cut out each little image with an X-Acto knife, either cutting out like the black or the white of it to make a stencil. Each picture has a different stencil method. So the smiley face, I cut out the black bits, and then my anti-AI one, I cut out just the white. And the music note, I kept both pieces intact. For that one, I used the background stencil to paint a white base, and then I used the subject stencil to dab on actual music note, and then I was able to use the background stencil again after that to clean it up. The other ones are pretty straightforward. It just doesn't include the ability to clean it up. I just dabbed paint along the side of the stencil so that when I went and cut it out, I had a clear border. So after the paint dried, I cut out the image and then I put it onto the felt fabric to make it double layered and just a little bit more thicker. I super glued the 2 layers together, and then after I cut off the excess fabric, the patches were done, and I am so proud of how they turned out. Fuck, that'd be adorable. I'm gonna put this on. I really like it. I'm gonna keep it on. I hope I gave you a bunch of ideas or inspiration or whatever. And I want to do more sewing videos here. I do a lot on TikTok, and I would like to bring it over here, especially because I do talk about subcultures a lot. I had fun. I hope you had fun. We had fun. Okay.